There is just something about these obnoxious American trucks I love so much. Did the Ford Lightning, I did Shamu the Harley Davidson, and now we're doing the Chip Foose edition. So, let's see how she does. Okay, it sounds really nice. Out here driving Big Bertha in northern Georgia, let's go. So, this is the Chip Foose Edition F150. It's got a Roush supercharger on a 5.4 liter 3-valve V8, so it's no joke, makes a good amount of horsepower, makes a really good whine noise, and it's still an F150 and really big. So, that combination is much like the Ford Lightning, unbalanced, but really, really fun to drive around because you start laughing because it's just so ridiculous. So yeah, did I also mention this has no catalytic converters? Completely cut off because the owner of this car, Derek, was like, well, these high flows don't fit, so you know what? I don't care. I'm just gonna connect the whole thing because I'm not gonna wait an entire week to make it fit because I would do the exact same thing. Plus, when you know it makes an atrocious whine, can't go wrong with that. Also, it has an alignment, but the steering wheel isn't completely straight, so I have to account for that. Oh my God. Wow, that's pretty awesome. I was not expecting the whine to be that loud. That Shamu truck I did recently had a really crazy whine, but this is maybe even louder. Maybe it's due to the Roush blower and not just a ported or a normal Eaton blower that's on the trucks already. I will say, taking a sharp turn, not ideal. Do not do this. No, so like, you're driving straight, and it's a truck at the end of the day. It is probably the best handling it can be for a truck of this era back in 2008. This is right when Ford was really kind of crawling a little bit along to get their act together. Ford really got their act together around 2011, in my opinion. Coyote, the STs, all that good stuff. But this is still when they were parts binning a few things. These switches were the same switches in the Crown Victoria, the Mustang, the Focus. Everything had all the same door switches. These air vents are also in the 05 to 09 Mustang. I just noticed that. Yeah, basically everything is borrowed. And the steering wheel is the same one that they put in the first generation Raptor, which is kind of cool. It's a truck, so okay, it works. I just want to do that all day though, and this poor truck's gas mileage is about to go out the freaking window because you just barely, you big toe it and it does that. It's those talkative supercharger I think I've heard this year. Oh my God. There's so much body roll. So I just ease it up. Oh my God. Driving these big trucks, I just laugh the entire time because you have to brake way, way earlier because you're dealing with so much more weight. And when you get on the gas or just partially get on the gas halfway through a corner, you feel the entire car or truck, y'all. Oh, I do know there's gonna be people out there going, don't call the car, it's a truck. Oh, get over it. I can't get over that, man. Oh God. The brakes on this, they have good pedal feel overall, but there is a little bit of travel. You gotta really push it down to get it to bite. The back seats are actually pretty roomy though. You can fit 2 adults back there with no problem. Actually, this car rolled basically 5 deep on the way here, all the way from Alabama, so huge thanks to the owner coming all the way from Alabama. I really appreciate it. It's really awesome. And now, I am driving one of the most American things I think I've ever done. If you think about it, American cars don't have this so much anymore. They had the really bad rep of bad handling and heavy motor in the front and everything. It's that stereotype in a truck, but it's fun. This has so much character added to it with the blower. Like, if this truck didn't have a blower on it, I feel like it'd be like the biggest ripoff ever. You think about it, if they were to be like, yeah, this is the Chip Foose edition, we got some stickers for you and some decals and a headrest cover. Pay an extra $20,000, try it out. No way. The fact that they supercharge it is pretty damn awesome, and I think that's why you would get this truck. Whee! That was a good impression of it, actually. Yeah, and just like that, you have your fun. It actually stops a lot better than the previous trucks, and it doesn't have as much yaw. It's still there, but it's not as bad. Now, is this the tail of the dragon queen, no, but it's just a fun truck to cruise around in. Sometimes you gotta know what you're driving. You know, when you're big towing it, it makes a very subtle, normal kind of V8 sound. It has a nice deep grumble to it. Honestly, the catalytic converters being gone, it's not that bad. I thought it was gonna be really loud, really raspy. It's really not all that bad. It's loud, but you're not disturbing the piece, which is nice. Actually, the whine is actually a little bit louder than the exhaust note, which is pretty funny. Yeah, I had to brake so hard before every corner. Oh! But you know, with the Foose package, you get the body kit, you get the graphics, you get the grill, you get all this really nifty little stuff. It came with different wheels, but apparently the previous owner of this car got rid of them and put really atrocious ones on there. So the current owner of this car put these black ones on there. They look really good. It used to be lowered, but it was scraping and rubbing too much. So I think the way it sits right now is perfect. You're not really getting that rubbing too much. And it just looks good. If it was like really high up, I feel like this truck would look a little weird because the body kit being there, creating that lip, creating the back diffuser and valence and all that, that'd be really off if it was like a super tall truck. So lowering it really did help the appearance of the car. Also has really, actually appreciate this. It has the Foose headrest right here embedded in it. I think that's pretty cool. But other than that, everything else is just like some Foose stickers and the headrest. And that's about it. What you're getting with this is the motor. It's just like the Lightning and the Harley Davidson one. The Supercharged V8 rather than just a normal generic truck V8. And this one has a Roush blower on it, which Roush blowers are not cheap. They're typically $5,000 to $6,000. So if you have it already on a car, that's pretty darn cool. There's actually not many of the Chip Foose edition either, and that's why I really signed up to do this, because one, they're pretty rare. This is number 13 ever made, and there's just a very limited production of them. 500 made total, ever. So this not being in a garage, being collected for some odd reason, I'm so glad that's not the case, because that just gets really old after a while. It's just an upgraded Lightning. That's what it feels like. It feels like a bigger Lightning too, 4 doors. And what are you doing? Doofus? I don't know if you guys saw that. That Jeep was about it. I don't know what he was doing, but I guess he just had the sudden urge to go off-road. This is not a truck you would take off-roading. Do not do that. That would be very, very bad. It's also got headers and dual exhaust, and has a 2.8-inch upper pulley. So basically, this pushes 9 pounds of boost rather than the factory, basically 7 pounds of boost. And it's great. You're just cruising around, and it's like an event everywhere you go. You hear it echoing off the trees. Makes you feel really good. If this was a manual, I feel like it would have been all over the place, like in a really weird place. Like the shifter itself would be like right here, and this is such a roomy cabin that the auto being right here is perfect. It'd be just odd trying to shift over here. But the auto trans, I will say, at times, doesn't really know where it wants to be. So like you'll big toe it, it's like, do I upshift? Do I just keep it in this gear? But then I'll put a little bit more throttle in, and then it starts to basically downshift. I gotta slow down. So, Chip Foose truck. Do I think it's worth the extra cash? Yeah, actually, I think it is. I really didn't think it would be, but I think it rides overall pretty comfortably. It's a little bumpy, but that's okay. That's just mostly because it's lowered. Also, the blower is very, very talkative and silly and fun, and that's how it should be. He has a custom cold air intake he did as well, and that actually made it whine even more, which is even better. It's just a really fun experience driving trucks like these because they're so unorthodox. If you get in a normal like Chevy Silverado or something, you know what to expect. When you get in a truck like this, you have no idea what to expect because you're like, okay, it has decals on it, it's got a diffuser, so what? So what? Who cares? But then you straighten the truck out, you go this way, you get in it a little bit, and you smile. It's like, my commute to work today is pretty awesome. It also has a big enough bed to really haul some stuff, so more power to everybody. Everybody wins with this truck, except the gas mileage. I can't imagine that's very good, because the previous 5.4 3 valves were absolutely atrocious in gas mileage, but who buys a supercharged V8 for gas mileage? And on that note, guys, I want to thank each and every one of you for watching this quick little video review. I've actually had a great time driving this truck. It was actually a real pleasure to drive it. Completely different from the last car I did, And it's just interesting to see Ford as a brand evolve from the Lightning to this to now the EcoBoost Ford Raptor, which is ridiculous with a 10-speed. It's amazing to see a company's progress throughout the years. And this is a good example of it. And it's cool that Foose had his hand in a truck. So with that, have a great day. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Take it easy. Goodbye.